Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Sports Zone.
One more game to wrap up an unbelievable homestand. The Braves swept the Indians. They took 2 out of 3 from the Miami Marlins. And today they hope to sweep away the Mets and finish up 8-1 at Turner Field. The red-hot Braves look for one more victory as they edge closer to a playoff berth. The Braves are hoping for bookend series sweeps as we wrap up this 3-series, 9-game homestand before a big crowd at Turner Field in Atlanta. This is also our final meeting with the New York Mets in the 2013 season, and the Braves have already won the overall season series. So plenty of good things to talk about as we join you upstairs again with Joe Simpson and Dale Murphy. The Braves continue to roll at home. They're 7-1 fellows so far on this homestand, and frankly have put together an historic season here at Turner Field, and the good times still have plenty of time left.
That's right, Chip. They are taking care of business and then some here at home. They got a chance in their last 11 games if they go 6-5 to set an all-time franchise record. Some pretty special things going on here at home, Joe, and pitching has a lot to do with that.
It has a lot to do with it, Dale, and it's the subject of our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot. This season at home, a 2.64 ERA. Now, remember, 1968 was the year Bob Gibson had the incredible year. I believe that was the year that Denny McClain won 30 games, and that was also the year that, because of all the good pitching, they lowered the mound. So that's how long it's been since the team had an ERA that low. Their ERA against the National League East, the best in their history, and wonderful times here at home. 20-4 since the All-Star break, and you can hang your hat on the pitching for the success of this team while playing at Turner Field.
And how ironic is it on a day when we talk about low numbers on the mound? Cameron Lowe is the Braves starting pitcher in Game 3 of the series. It's a busy broadcast. Here's what's on our menu today. We will highlight this homestand for Atlanta as they try to go 8-1 in the 9 games played here at Turner Field. Tim Hudson will join us live from the Braves dugout. That'll come your way in the 3rd inning. And speaking of historic pitching numbers, Craig Kimbrell will compare him to some of the great closers in the major leagues as we continue with the Mets in town today. After a quick break, Tom Hart will stand by. He has a chat with Cameron Lowe, back up from AAA, and giving Julio Teheran a break in Game 3 of this series with New York.
Best home record in all of baseball. Hello, everybody. I'm Tom Hart. Cameron Lowe gets a start for the Braves today. Historically, he's been a reliever. In fact, this will be his first major league start since September of 2007. How did he get back in the rotation? Well, AAA, he walked into the manager's office, said, "You need another arm. I can do it." 2002 draft out of Texas. In fact, that's the last team he started for. This will be his 316th appearance. Now, the reason he wanted to start at AAA was to work on his secondary pitches and help out the team. It takes a different mindset, he said, when he takes them out as a starter versus that as a reliever.
I mean, you definitely prepare yourself differently. You're able to, get loose a little bit better, and you have all day to think about it, and make sure you get a good night's sleep. And the adrenaline rush is a little bit different coming out of the pen, but as far as attacking hitters, you're a little more educated on going over the hitters, and your communication with your catcher might be a little bit better because you've gone over them, that day before the game. But as far as my approach, it's going to be pretty much the same.
The Braves have been blessed. He'll be just the 8th starting pitcher used by Atlanta over the course of the season. As the big right-hander gets set to take the mound, the Braves look for another win at home. And how good are the Shock Troops? Well, the Braves have won each of their last 6 day games, typically with the bomb squad on the field. Jared Laird and company take the field when we return. Chip, Joe, and Dale have the call.
To Ubers by Delta Airlines and by Ford. Nice crowd gathering at Turner Field on Weather Day. A lot of school kids at the ballpark in the early hours of the morning, learning about the weather conditions here at Turner Field, and they are 84 degrees. The forecast is for fair and sunny skies, a gentle breeze blowing from left to right. Fans in the bright sunshine will be warmer than 84 by the time this day ends. This is our final look at the New York Mets, who've dropped their last 3 games in succession. Terry Collins has Eric Young leading off his Toyota starting 9 with Danny Murphy, Andrew Brown, and Lucas Duda in the top 4. Justin Turner is at third base. Travis d'Arnaud's the catcher. Juan Lagares in center. Omar Quintanilla and Dylan G, who's been a real tough customer for the Braves offense to handle, is on the mound.
Cameron Lowe, 31 years old, 6'8", 240 on the mound. His career as a starter, 13-19, but this is his first start in the big league since September of 2007 while he was with Texas. where he was drafted in the 20th round back in 2002, but with Texas, that was against Kansas City. His 4 keys to pitching success today, well, he talked about how getting to start down in Gwinnett helped him improve his changeup because he got to see left-handers more often rather than maybe just once on a specific outing out of the bullpen, and that's helped him against left-handed hitters where he held them to a sub-200 average while in Gwinnett as well. We'll see if that pays off for him today.
Wally Bell is the home plate umpire for the homestand wrap-up. And Eric Young Jr. is the first man to face Cameron Lowe today. Young had a couple of hits last night, including a triple, and he scored the lone New York run. Reading the newspapers in New York today, looks like Eric Young has found himself a home in the big leagues. The Mets very happy with him and probably would like to have him back and leading off next year. He's done a nice job for them. They got him from the Colorado Rockies.
Leadoff men are hard to find. Everyday guys. He's a switch hitter. Doesn't matter who's pitching. So this is obviously a good spot for him.
Well, he's a kid you pull for. I was lucky enough to be able to play with his dad in Colorado for a couple months there at the end of my career. Good guy, good family. Except for today.
Right.
Right off the knuckles of Eric Young. That's bounced into the Braves dugout. The count remains a ball and 2 strikes. That's Jordan Schaefer. He was in the original starting lineup for the Braves today. A couple of games ago, he had to leave with a back problem. Last night, he was hobbled after he fouled a ball off his quad. And so he was a late scratch. Chance to give him a day off today, day off tomorrow, and half a day before we face the Phillies on the road on Friday. B.J. Upton is starting in center. Now ball left side. Nice pickup and an easy peg to first in time by Elliott Johnson, who's in for Chris Johnson defensively. Here's the rest of the Braves defensive lineup on this sunny Wednesday afternoon. Paul Giannis at short, Ugla and Freeman regulars on the right side of the infield. Gaddis, Upton in the outfield, and Gerald Laird's behind the plate.
Be a little warm for some of the fans sitting in the stands. We saw some of them fanning themselves, but it's a beautiful day for the ball players.
I think everybody in town is just happy it's sunny and dry.
Not bad.
After the summer that's taken place in Atlanta this year.
You mentioned it's weather day.
It's weather day. Fine folks from Channel 2 were out with the school kids before the game. On top of the Braves dugout.
Weather day, you get nice weather. Bat day, you get a bat. Hat day, you get a hat.
It's funny how that all works together.
Weather's plan they ought to have that more often. Good promo here, especially this year. Been a little wet here, hasn't it? It's been
torrential. Shot down the right field line by Murphy. And his torrid streak continues. He's the reigning National League Player of the Week. And some trouble in the right field corner will allow Murphy to take third. So that ball right inside the first base line. Murphy was ready for 2, but moved up an extra 90 feet.
Well, he's on fire. No question about that.
Got up under that padding. It's like chasing a mouse. You got to go to a spot and almost put your foot under the padding and wait for it. Wait for the ball to get there and stop it. Watching Murphy run, it was kind of funny at second base. He really didn't want to go to third.
Wasn't quite loose yet.
He was kind of making some real hard hard pivots at second, trying to make that turn. Right here, he was kind of pulling up and whoop, almost ran by second.
It's triple all the way for him.
And he's out of gas.
And Cameron Lowe has some first inning trouble with Andrew Brown up there. He's in right field for the Mets. 19 RBIs for him. And he hits one a mile high deep to left. And Andrew Brown has put the Mets in front. Sixth home run for Andrew Brown. He's hit 3 homers in the last 16 games. And the Mets strike first for Dylan G.
Hanging breaking ball there.
Brown did what you're supposed to do when you get that one.
Mets have hit 117 home runs as a club now. Brown has 6 of them. And here's Lucas Duda. Caught a corner, a strike. It's been kind of a lost year for Lucas. He missed over a month with an intercostal strain. He's on the disabled list from late June until the first week of August. So he's still trying to find his stroke and trying to keep himself in the Mets plans for next season, what with the uncertainty regarding Ike Davis. Davis is out for the rest of the regular season with a bad oblique. He heard that before the Mets came to Atlanta. Duda's been a Met his entire career. They took him in the 7th round back in 2007. He'll be 28 years old by opening day next season.
That home run Cameron gave up, that was part of the problem he had before he came to Atlanta. But he's now given up 10 homers in 18 innings.
Full count. There's another hard hit ball. This one deep to right. Justin's back. That's over his head and off the fence. And Duda's on his way to second. The Mets have tripled, homered, and doubled here in the top of the first.
That was a fastball. Not the way Cameron expected this one to start.
Yeah, didn't draw it up this way. Okay, what you got to do now here is just get out of it and not let it get away from you.
Justin Turner is in the lineup for the Mets at third base today. He's knocked in 10 runs. Braves have already won the season series against New York. They've won 10 of 18 so far. Braves trying to finish up a homestand with an 8-1 record. In the air to center. B.J. Upton should have room. Duda at second tags. And the Braves will concede the base. That's out number 2 in the inning.
It's funny how baseball is at this level. When the hitters see guys going up there and kind of swinging from their heels and making good contact, triple, homer, double, everybody starts sensing it and taking big cuts.
Catcher Travis d'Arnaud bats. Limited duty for him. And he rolls one deep in the hole at short. Nice sliding stop. Long throw to first in time. Paul Janisch with a fine play. Cameron Lowe limits the damage to 2 Mets runs. Aaron Brown's long homer gives Dylan G a first inning lead. As we told you, a change at the top of the batting order about a half an hour ago or so. B.J. Upton in for Jordan Schaefer in center. His brother Justin's in right. Freddie Freeman's at first with Eloso Blanco, Evan Gattis cleaning up in left. Laird, Elliott Johnson, Dan Uggla, Paul Janisch, and Cameron Lowe round out Freddie Gonzalez's Toyota starting 9 today.
Dylan G is 27 years old, 6'1", 205 out of Cleburne, Texas. Got off to a bad start for the Mets. Bad record, bad ERA, but his last 17 starts, he has the 4th best ERA in the National League over that stretch, going 8-3. His 4 keys to pitching success relate to his work against the Braves this year. He is 0-2, but an excellent 3.10 ERA. Gee whiz, 2-1. Yeah, he's lost a couple of 2-1 decisions to the Braves, and more on that in a minute. And leadoff hitters, well, you get tested right here with BJ at the plate. 329 average against him for leadoff hitters and a 389 on base percentage.
Right now, fellas, B.J. Upton swinging it.
Yeah.
Got a good run going for the Braves. His mark at an even 200. And where he was compared to where he is now, that is a long climb. Historically, September has been his most productive month in his big league career, and it's proving to be that so far for the Braves. He takes a little punishment and has to walk that off. A ball and 2 strikes.
Got a shin guard on, but it missed the shin guard and got his foot. Big toe.
Well, he's swinging the bat better. Even the balls that he's making outs on, he's making some good contact. First couple swings here have been a little late.
Dylan G, those 2 starts against Atlanta I referred to, he's made 3 starts in all, but back on June 17th. He had a 1-0 shutout working here with 1 out in the 9th inning, and Freddie Freeman hit a 2-run homer to beat him 2-1. And then on July 22nd, the next time he saw the Braves, he had a no-hitter into the 7th inning, and Freddie spoiled that one.
Well, he's got an early lead today, and he's fired his first full count to B.J. Upton. And a leadoff walk. We'll see how Upton's toe is feeling and see whether or not he's running early in this ball game today. Here's how the Mets defense shapes up today. Turner, Quintanilla, Murphy, and Duda around the horn. D'Arnaud behind the plate. Brown in right, Lagares in center, Eric Young Jr. in left. Lagares has a terrific arm. He's been a real find for the Mets so far in 2013. And here's Justin.
His fastball is 88 to 91, somewhere in that range, but 4-pitch pitcher. Curveball, slider, change.
As good a year as Justin Upton has had for the Braves this year, New York has pitched him very, very tough. He has 10 hits and 60 at bats. And it's 2-0. BJ's running. Good jump. The pitch a ball. The throw to second is late. Upton swipes second.
His 12th, got a good jump, good crossover step. Love the foot first slide, because in that pop-up slide you're ready to go if the ball gets away.
That evens the count, 2-2. That stolen base ability is something the Braves were really touting about this outfield from the opening days of spring training. It hasn't worked out that way, in large part because neither Upton nor Hayward in the first 4 months of the year were on base all that much. Before Jason got hurt, he was whirling dervish, and now Upton getting in on the fun in September. Guys, in postseason play, if you're not getting home runs or big hits, got to find ways to manufacture runs. There's certainly enough speed on this team to do that.
Well, and everybody knows that when you get into postseason, if you don't have a whirling dervish, you're probably in some trouble.
No doubt about it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, it's just a good mindset to have as a team. Shows you're aggressive. Shows that you're not sitting back.
And I think it puts pressure on the defense and on the pitcher to kind of distract him a little bit. Might help your teammates at the plate.
No question.
George Schaefer's been having big nights. Had a 3 stolen base night here on the homestand.
In the air to shallow center field. Lagares with a diving catch makes a great play.
You know what? That's a double play earlier in the year because nobody knew much about Lagares. But some smart base running there by BJ not to just break automatically.
Yeah, it was. Off the bat, I thought for sure is in there. Nobody out. You got to be a little cautious. Good base running by BJ and good play by Lagares. Wow. I mentioned last night, Joe, defensive player of the month. Is that?
Yes. Yeah. As selected by ESPN.
ESPN.
Freddie Freeman's been a Mets killer.
This is that home run in the 9th inning on June 17th. Mets are up 1-0. G had been in command all night. But a base runner reached in front of Freddie, and then he won the game.
Freddie hitting .343 against New York. 5 homers, 16 RBIs. They scored a team high 12 runs this year. This is becoming a continuing trend for the Braves' first baseman against New York. We'll explain after the 0-2 pitch. That's hard hit toward left, but Young is there. It's off his glove. Young flat out dropped it on the warning track, and the Braves have a huge break, 2nd and 3rd with 1 out.
Well, another well-hit ball by Freddie Freeman. But unfortunately, with BJ's good base running, that one that was hit by Justin, with 1 out, you don't stay at the bag. You go halfway at least, and then BJ would have had a chance to score. But unfortunately, BJ went back to the bag to tag and wasn't able to score. Because I think if he goes halfway with 1 out like he should be, I think he's got a chance to score.
Yeah, pretty easily. E7.
So Evan Gattis bats, coming off a perfect night at the plate last night. So Freeman hits the ball hard again against New York. His good work against them are Coors Light cold hard fact.
36 games over the last 2 years, 34 RBIs and 10 homers. That's pretty good work.
Good cut by Gattis. Hope you enjoyed his chat with Tom Hart after the game last night. Evan talked about how productive his 3 games with Gwinnett were. His playing time and his plate appearances had dwindled almost nothing for the Braves over the last week. He went 6 for 13 with 3 doubles and a homer. Came back last night with a 3 for 3 night, including a home run.
Another good cut there. Yeah, he had been 0 for 17. This was the 3rd hit of the night for him. That tied the game. A little nod to the dugout like, I got this.
Swing and a miss. Big pitch by Dylan G to strike Evan out. 2 on, 2 away for Gerald Laird.
Big curveball and a hard one.
Had a couple pitches early in the count to hit.
Yeah.
Dylan G. He's no dummy. I'm not going to do that again. Give him something to hit. Good breaking ball.
Gerald Laird gets the start behind the plate today. Let's see what he can do with 2 on and 2 out.
When the Mets are willing to give you a run, concede a run with less than 2 outs, and you're not able to get one in, you really need this guy to come through if you can. I didn't know this until I heard Jerome speak of this during Braves Live about G beating the Nationals 4 times this year, including his last start when he pitched into the 8th inning and only gave up 2 runs.
All help appreciated, but G didn't help Atlanta as he pitches around a leadoff walk and a 2-base error by his left fielder. Braves threatened but failed to break through in the first and trail 2-0. (7-1) homestand for the Braves. Julio Teheran, his usual good work on the mound. The return of Evan Gattis with his 3-for-3 night. B.J. Upton swinging the bat very well for the Braves, including a walk-off hit. And you see how good the pitching has been, and they have not had much offense to play with, yet the Braves have run their record to 7-1 during this 8-game stretch.
Something else, Chip, the guys they beat, Salazar, Masterson didn't get a decision, but they won the game that Masterson started for the Indians. They beat Jimenez, they beat Fernandez of the Marlins, so some good pitching mixed in there too during these wins.
As we showed you earlier today, this Braves pitching staff is firing baseballs at an historic level. Incredibly low ERA, dominant bullpen. And they're doing this without Tim Hudson, who is going to join us in the 3rd inning today. Juan Lagares, ground ball short, a stumble by Giannis, long throw and not in time. Freddie Freeman thought the throw beat his man, but Lagares in safely to start the 2nd for the Mets.
Paul didn't mean to go to the ground on this one. His foot just went out from under him, and that's what cost him. And another tip of the cap to Lagares for hustling down the line and beating it out. It'll be an infield hit.
Omar Quintanilla is the shortstop and the 8th place hitter. He hits in front of Dylan G. Those of you who are just tuning in and wondering why Cameron Lowe is starting today's game, there are no more injuries to report with the Braves pitching staff. This was a pre-planned start to give Julio Teheran some extra rest. And that's the advantage of having a 15-game lead in the division. And a man like Lowe, who had been starting down in the minor leagues, bring him in. Hope he gives you 5 or 6. Move everybody back a few days. and then get them tuned up for we hope to be a long postseason run.
Yeah, I think it was a great idea for Julio to get a start skipped. I think it'll help him down the stretch.
The luxury it is to get everything set up. Get injuries you can manage. Give guys days off. Get them ready to go. Pitchers rest. It's a good way to start the playoffs.
Not sure what that was, but one of his better changeups so far.
Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Don't let Quintanilla's .225 batting average fool you. He can give you a quality at bat. He's given Craig Kimbrell some problems this year. He can turn around 99. You know, he can hit just about anybody in the game if you're not careful.
And he did last night.
He's gotten the bulk of the playing time for Ruben Tejada. Fell out of favor this spring to a certain degree. Started the season and hit poorly, and has been at AAA ever since. Once the Las Vegas team's campaign ends, it's expected that Tejada will rejoin the New York Ball Club for final weeks of the season. Runner goes, the pitch outside. Quintanilla walks. Lagares at second, Quintanilla at first, and Dylan G a chance to bunt. Got it down perfectly. Only one play, and it's to first. Elliott Johnson with the peg. Sacrifice number 7 for Dylan G. And there are 2 more Mets in scoring position for the top of their order. Fouled away, strike 1. That's to first, and no advance by Lagares. Young was sawed off by Cameron Lowe, and now there are 2 outs. And here's Danny Murphy. Save big when you watch your Braves take on the Padres Friday, September 13th through the 15th. That's today's steal of the week. Buy an outfield ticket for $28. You'll get an Always Braves Tervis tumbler free. Get this deal by visiting Braves.com/steal today. I don't think we've seen the Padres since Ted Williams played for them. Pacific Coast League days.
It's been a while.
Hard to imagine in the old days we used to go out there 3 times a year. And they used to come here 3 times a year. We were in that division.
That was what was hard to believe.
Strange to think about that, yeah.
The Astros, Reds, and Braves, and the 3 California teams. So you want to teach your kid geography using major league teams. So how are the Braves in the West?
Even though it was a long trip, just loved getting out to that cool weather away from the heat and humidity here. Out to San Francisco, LA, and San Diego. Wow.
Even if that meant playing in Candlestick Park.
Yeah, it really did, even though that was a little crazy sometimes. Just to get that cool, away from here. Really pick you up. But that was a little bit of a stark contrast in July going from here to San Francisco. Freezing out there at Candlestick.
Downstairs, Murphy walks, and the Mets have the bases loaded. And Cameron Lowe has his first visit from Roger McDowell. That's the second walk of the inning.
I don't think they wanted to pitch to Murphy there the way he's going. Even though Andrew Brown hit a homer his last time up, I think they'd rather face him.
I think so. I'm thinking the same thing. Not an ideal situation, but certainly would agree if he's on fire.
So Brown awaits the conclusion of the meeting and will remind you that all year long Braves baseball on Sports Out is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day.
It's a long home run in the first inning, boys. Got it all. Well over 400 feet.
There's a strike. These are important games for the Mets, even though they have a 62-75 record. One, they want to win as many as they can, obviously. But two, they're really trying to find guys who can be everyday players for them next year. They traded away Marlon Byrd and John Buck. And I figure Lagares will have the first crack at either the right field or center field job for New York. I mentioned Eric Young. Could be back as their leadoff man and left fielder. They might leave one spot for guys like Brown and Duda and Den Decker to fight over here in the final month. At least as far as the outfield's concerned. Brown drives one to deep right. Upton is back and on the warning track makes the play to retire the side. Well, I'll say this, Cameron Lowe has done a good job of minimizing the damage. He's held the Mets to 2 after 2 innings. Fans out there, we hope you won't miss a second of SEC Gridiron Live. We invite you to join James Bates, Tim Couch, Elizabeth Morrow, and Ovi Muhele every week as they break down what is, Murph, possibly the strongest conference in college football. That's SEC Gridiron Live tonight at 10 on Fox Sports South.
Well, can't argue. Pac-12's good. Utah's got Oregon and Stanford on their schedule this year. We've skipped them the first 2 years in the Pac-12.
Really?
Yeah, so their schedule just got upgraded this year.
Yeah, and your son's on the scouting report now, too. So
no flying under the radar.
Wow, good catch there by one of our camera operators. An Oregon hat.
Well, good to hear you pronounce that right, Joe. Well, you said Oregon. It's good. You know, back in the South and the East, you hear Oregon a lot. It drives us Oregonians crazy. So nice going.
Ellie Johnson pops one into center. And there's out number one.
I feel you.
Here's Dan Ugla.
That was old Gumby that caught that Oregon hat. He's the guy that almost got thrown out of the game the other day by Tim McClellan. He was over there looking for whoever it was that was.
Oh, that's right.
Popping off out of the dugout. They didn't know it was camera operator.
Gave him the stink eye, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
0-2 for Dan. He is in pull mode. That fan that caught that bouncing ball, were those Mets fans behind him in full uniform? Oh, took a shot. Fantasy camp's not till January, guys.
Boy,
gamers.
They even know what uniform to wear this day. The cool grays. Molly Bell made a good catch here too. Darno got rocked.
Popped up into the bright sunshine over near the Braves on deck circle. Darno will run out of room. Murph, you caught in the big leagues. When that happens, the umpire grabs you. Do they ask you, do you know where you are? What's your name? What city you in? Are they just holding you up till you catch your wits again?
I didn't usually know where I was anyway, but you know, he yeah, he got hit pretty hard there. Last time I was here.
In the air to left, Young able to catch this one, 2 out.
Last time I was here, someone took one off the mask, and you had mentioned that a lot of the guys are going back to the traditional, heavier face masks, and which I thought now that I've looked around the league, I think it really is. You're exactly right, and I think it's a great idea. Those you got to have a little heft, a little weight to those things. Those are a little heavier than the hockey masks. It's a good idea. You know, back in the day, we didn't really have a choice. We just had that one mask, and they're a little heavy, but I like those to absorb some of that blow.
Giannis to the right side and through. That's the Braves' first hit.
There was one other one, Dale, and about the last guy I remember wearing it was Bob Boone, and that was a circle, and it just had one bar across the middle, a big wide bar.
I remember that
one.
Yes.
But he's about the last guy I remember wearing that mask. But Bob was also one of the first guys to start wearing like a skull cap, a hard hat under his mask.
Imagine in the very old days not having a helmet on. It wakes you up when you take one off the mask. Wow. It's something you never get used to.
Cameron Lowe puts it in play and rolls it to second. Murphy makes the throw to first, and the side is retired. We are through 2 innings in Atlanta. Dylan G and the Mets have an early 2-run lead. For us, as we wrap up the homestand, the Braves trying to go 8-1. Go on, Tim. We're back live.
Oh, sorry. Hey, guys.
Good to see you. Tim Hudson's with us downstairs in the Braves dugout. And I tell you what, you're a sight for sore eyes. Braves country asks us every day, how's Tim Hudson doing? So we'll ask you, how you doing?
You know, I'm doing really good. It's, it's coming along really well. And progressing as planned, maybe even better than what we would have hoped. So, just doing the rehab and doing the treatment in here with our awesome trainers, and I'm really excited about it.
Kind of nice to get back in uniform too, even as a pep club, huh?
As a cheerleader, yeah. It is nice, man. You know, it's been fun watching these guys go out and play, win all these ball games. You know, I'm at home in Auburn most of the time while they're on the road, and then coming up, hanging out with them in the locker room has been great. It's I'm ready to hopefully soon spray some champagne with them.
That'd be great.
Tim, do you get a chance to go over hitters or anything and scouting reports or anything with some of the guys prior to their starts? Offer some of your insights.
Well, I mean, there's obviously opportunity there. You know, whenever I'm here and these guys. But you know what? They have a great game plan every night. Roger does an awesome job going over all the hitters, making sure everybody's on a good game plan. The way they've been throwing, man, they don't need any help from me. I'm telling you, they've been going out there and pitching well and executing their game plan and helping us win ball games.
Lucas Duda leads off for the Mets and drives one deep to left. Gaddis on the run. Won't get there. It's a foul ball for a strike.
Tim, when you guys set up that game plan you're talking about, how much of that is defensive positioning so that everybody's on the same page with you guys, how you're going to pitch a certain hitter? And I'm not talking about over shifts or anything, but just maybe a step or two.
Well, our pitchers and catchers meetings are just us in our meeting room and going over, the strengths and the weaknesses of the hitters and executing pitches. As far as the defensive positioning and all that goes, you know, that's a watch out now. And but you know, they have their positioning. Some of the guys will come in and ask us how we want to shade some guys for certain, you know, players in the lineup for the outfielders, and they just want to make sure, you know, if we're going to pound a guy inside during the game, you know, how we want to play them in the outfield in our infield. And our infielders are some of the best, you know, I feel in the game, especially with Simmons at short. You know, I just let him go wherever the heck he wants. He has a lot better instincts than I do out there defensively.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Lucas Duda. Tim, everybody misses seeing you pitch. I mean, your injury in New York was obviously a big tragedy for you personally, a big blow for this Braves ball club collectively as well. But you have to feel awfully proud at how some of these young guys have stepped up in your absence and have pitched like #1 starters for this ball club.
You know, they have, and I'm so proud of them. You know, it's you know, they've been pitching well all year.
That one's deep into the Braves bullpen by Lucas Duda. Duda's 12th home run of the season, and the Mets are ahead by a 3-0 score. But Tim, you were saying this staff's done a great job in your absence.
Yeah, you know, they've been awesome. They've pitched well all year, but you know, it seems like whenever I got hurt and went down, you know, they just really took it to another level. I think they. I just think they looked in the mirror and said, you know what, this is our time to take this rotation and really take it to another level and show that, you know, they could anchor this staff and that they could go out there and pitch like top of the rotation guys. Not just one guy, but, you know, top to bottom, they've been awesome. And, you know, I'm really proud of them. I'm really excited, you know, the opportunities that Alex Wood and has had. You know, he's came in and been able to step in and pitch really well. It's like he's been here for a few years. And then, you know, obviously Beachy, you know, come back from Tommy John. It's one of those things where he's going to just go out there and get his work in and hopefully set things up for a healthy, strong year next year.
Tim, in your opinion, in your experience, Alex Wood and what he's doing right now, I mean, he's the youngest of the crew, of what is already a young crew. Is he ready to pitch in the postseason? You think he could take a start in the postseason without any problems?
You know, I think so. I mean, I think he obviously has the ability and the repertoire of pitches to go out there and have the potential to shut down any lineup on any given night. You know, I think he believes he can do it. I think he has the confidence to go out there and do it. You know, postseason is a different animal, though. I mean, there's a lot of added nerves there. There's a lot of pressure, especially for a young kid. But you know, if you have that intangible there of guts and heart and you know, the confidence to go out there and feel like you know, you're one of the best players on that field, you're going to be successful in any situation. And I think he has that. I think he has that kind of personality. You know, he wants to be really good, and you know, but I think that's our staff overall, though. I think Mike Minor is a guy is going to be able to go out there and dominate any game, regardless of the situation. And Tehran, and you know, I think Medlin has proved that he can go out there day in and day out and give us a good chance to win against anybody. So, you know, I'm confident with anybody that we're throwing out there right now. I think we have a chance to win every night, regardless of who's stepping up in the rotation.
It's kind of funny how baseball comes full circle, though, for a professional athlete like yourself. I'm sure some of the same things that the pundits and experts are saying about this young and untested Braves pitching rotation are the same things that were said about you in 2000 with the Oakland A's. You came off a 20-win season. You were pitching in the playoffs for the first time against the Yankees, and you pitched a great ball game.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's one of those things where if that's something that you work hard your whole career, as from a kid growing up, and you see yourself being in that situation and being successful, you know, you welcome that opportunity. You don't look at it as man, I'm nervous. I think you know, might be overmatched. You look at it as, you know, I finally have my shot to show everybody what I can do, and to show that I can be a top of the rotation guy and pitch in the postseason and pitch for a championship caliber club. You know, you welcome that opportunity, and I think that, you know, we have a staff of guys that can do that right now, and they're taking their opportunities and they're making the most of it. And I'm really proud of them for it.
All the young guys are really singing the praises of Roger McDowell, and rightfully so, Tim, as a veteran and a guy who's been here with Roger more than and longer than anybody. Tell us what he's done for you and the impression he's made on you since he's been here?
He's been awesome. He's been great ever since from the first time he walked in this locker room and took over for Leo. He's a guy that understands the game. He understands how hard it is to go out there and compete every day and to get your work in and he understands the grind of such a long season. And he's helped me out tremendously over the years. I can't really say there's one thing. If anything, I think it's just knowing that sometimes you need to for a veteran guy, you might need to back things off in between starts and your bullpens, and but on the flip side with the young guys, he understands that there's that development that has to happen, and there's that push that you have to give some of these young guys through some of the struggles and through some of the the long seasons, and when guys get 180 190 innings, that you got to help push these guys and help get them over that hump, because a lot of times they're not used to pitching that deep into the season and under the pressures of pitching in the big leagues. And I think he's able to understand all those different scenarios and able to kind of roll with the flow with the different personalities and the different ability levels on the club and where everybody is in their career. I think that's one thing that's really good that he's been able to do throughout my time here.
Okay, now, big stuff. What are you doing besides rehab? How are you spending your time at home? You're probably being a chauffeur a little bit too for the kids.
Yeah, you know what? It's been a good time at home with the family. I would rather be here, fully healthy and helping our club win. But I've had an opportunity to spend some time with the kids and with my wife at home that normally I normally don't get to do. And a lot of carpooling to school, taking the kids to school. My son started football this year for the first time, and that's been an experience. He's never played before. He's never played flag football, but he's playing for his school at Lee Scott in Auburn, and we had 5 days to practice before their first game. So
that's plenty.
Yeah, it's plenty. He's a starting tight end and starting cornerback, and he's a tough kid. And he has a great attitude out there, even though I'm not quite sure football is going to be in his future, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Like herding cats, I'll bet. Speaking of football, as Lagares bounces to third, Braves get a force at second, but a run scores to make it 4-0. With all this time off, you've obviously had a lot of time to work on your Newt Rockne speeches. We understand that you gave the pregame speech to the Auburn football team before they opened up their season. What did you say to get those guys fired up so well?
I'm not sure if you could qualify that as a speech or not, but had about a minute or two. Just, it's Gus Malzahn. He's done a great job there at Auburn getting these guys ready to play this year. And every year he has an honorary head coach that comes in for every home football game. And I was fortunate enough to be asked to be the first one, and it was a great honor. It was awesome seeing some of those young kids, and it helped get you reflecting on your days back in college and how awesome of a time it was. And that's just kind of what I reiterated to them. It's a small window of your life, 3 or 4 years in college, but it's, some of the best memories you'll ever have in your life. And take advantage of it and cherish every moment, because when those days are behind you, they're behind you. You're an official adult when you leave college, and those days are very fond memories. And, I went out there, and I'm sure I inspired them like crazy, because about 2 minutes into the game we were down 7-0. So that was
obviously an emotional speech.
Yeah, I had them ready to go, but they played a tough opponent. In Washington State, a Pac-10 team that likes to spread the ball around and high-powered offense and throwing the ball downfield. But you know what? We rallied the troops and was able to pull out a win there late in the game, and it was fun.
Omar Quintanilla grounds to second. The ball bobbled, but Ugla gets the runner at first for the second out. By the way, we've got Arkansas State and Auburn. That's our Saturday football game here on Sports South. So fans around the country will have a chance to see your Tigers on our air. And back to your Auburn days, Tim. You've been so generous with your time and your money in helping the Auburn baseball program. I know you're very excited about the direction that they're headed.
Yeah, I am. We brought in a new coach this year, and Sonny Galloway, and You know, we're excited about what he brings. You know, he has some pedigree, some championship pedigree from Oklahoma, and you know, we're excited about it. I think we're really excited about the coaching staff that he brought in. You know, obviously the former Brave great, you know, Greg Norton is the hitting coach there in Auburn. So I was really excited about that, and you know, he's been a close friend of mine for a lot of years, and then you know, he's going to be great. He's going to be great, and we're excited about it.
Gaddis and BJ don't communicate on a fly ball to left center field that drops in for another hit and another run against Cameron Lowe. It's 5-0. Well, Tim, this has been an awful lot of fun. I must.
Yeah, my butt's starting to get sore. Right here is concrete. You know, there's not much of a cushion on this concrete.
And Tim, we're going to get through this interview without having Chris Medlin throw anything at you. Does he know you're down there?
You know what? He's so ADD. I don't think he knows that he's really.
No seeds?
I'm not sure if he knows what inning we're in yet. He's over there.
So no one's thrown any seeds at you.
He's reflecting on his great outing last night. You know, he's over there licking himself. You know,
still thinking about it.
Well, Tim, we'll let you go get some circulation working in the posterior.
Thank you, brother.
It's great. It's great to see you, and hope the recovery continues to go well. And we look forward to hanging out here over the final month.
Thanks, guys. I can't wait.
Thanks, Tim.
Tim Hudson, our guest. As the Mets have struck for 3 more runs here in the 3rd inning. Bouncing ball back to the mound. And the 3rd inning mercifully comes to an end. New York scores 3 more times. They lead 5-0. As the Braves down 5 to the Mets after 2.5 innings. B.J. Upton will get things started at the plate after some confusion in the field a moment ago.
Guys, there have been a couple of plays in this homestand. One just a couple of days ago where B.J. went to the wall to catch a ball and it hit 6 feet from him on the wall. This one, I'm perplexed because that angle looks like Evans in the vicinity, but he's really not. And the angle B.J.'s taking with regard to where the ball dropped is... they're not related. That ball landed behind him. So I'm not sure what he saw or how he felt maybe that Evan was closing in. You don't want to get run over by Evan Gaddis. But 2 very odd plays by BJ in center field in this homestand.
Well, that play there, yeah, you definitely got to take charge as the center fielder. That's your ball, and it looked like he just conceded to Evan, which is not Evan's ball.
So Dylan G with a 5-0 lead through 2 innings. He's got the Upton brothers, then Freddie Freeman. All the other baseball gets started later on today or tonight. The Braves begin play today, 2 games ahead of the Dodgers for the best record in the National League. Los Angeles visits Colorado later on tonight. LA beat the Rockies 7-4 last night. Ricky Nolasco won another game as a Dodger. He's been a great pickup for them. He's 7-1.
Not a bad 4th starter.
Yeah. Might have to throw Ned Colletti's name in as Executive of the Year out there. The pickup of Nolasco, getting Puig up when he did. Of course, Ryu, Greinke, and Kershaw, along with Nolasco in rotation. Full count to B.J. Upton. And he's down on strikes. 1 out. Justin Upton, the batter. And it's time for our AT&T Uverse trivia question. And today's question is, over the last 30 years, what Mets pitcher has the most wins against the Braves?
Years.
So go back to 83.
Yep. What do you think? Dwight Gooden, Frank Viola, Sid Fernandez, Ron Darling.
We'll probably have to go back to when they changed the division alignment, because they weren't in our division all those years.
Right.
Oddly enough, again.
Right.
So when did that happen?
I hate to throw Steve Traxel's name out there, but he spent a lot of time with the Cubs too.
Again into center field by Upton. This time Lagares will keep his feet. He'll make the catch. That's the 2nd out. Braves 2013 postseason tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to see the Braves make their postseason run this October. National League Division Series tickets are now available. Visit Braves.com/postseason today to get yours. Braves had a chance to get even with the Mets in the 1st inning after Freeman reached on a 2-base error by Eric Young. But Dylan G struck out Gaddis and struck out Laird, and that ended the Braves' opening inning threat. Oh, 0-2. Ban in.
Trying to keep the ball in on him, not let him extend his arms, even to the extent that they came up a little too high and tight.
Jammed him badly, and an easy ground ball to first retires Atlanta in order in the third inning. We head to the fourth. Dylan G enjoys a big lead. By the Home Depot and by Toyota. Well, not much to cheer about for the Braves so far in this game. They have but one hit. They've spotted the Mets a 5-run lead after 3 innings of play. But there is sunny weather for the kids here for Weather Day. Mid-80-degree temperatures as some of the kids play in hooky this afternoon. So it's good to see them at the ballpark. The Braves wrapping up a 9-game homestand with New York today. Murphy tripled and scored the game's first run.
You know, in talking our interview with Tim Hudson earlier, talking about how the Braves pitchers have kind of stepped up and filled the void of missing Tim Hudson. Isn't that the hallmark of this team? Jason Hayward goes down, guys just step in. It's been happening all year.
Freddie Freeman will take care of Daniel Murphy. 1 out.
And just shocking to see the number of guys that have been on the DL. And you just don't really realize it because things have kind of just moved on. Guys have filled in and picked up the slack. But how many guys have been on the DL? 20-something. We've had a couple season-ending injuries. Brandon Beachy's out now. Is he on the DL or did they DL him?
Mm-hmm.
But this team has just really filled in the gaps all year long. Pulling for Reed Johnson to get back too. Now
yeah, that's been frustrating for him.
Reed's still out with an Achilles problem. He can swing the bat. He can play catch. Just can't run without discomfort still.
He said he can actually go side to side just fine. but he can't run in a straight line without some problems. And as he said 2 weeks ago, it's not like I'm going to get back to 100%. It's just I got to get back to a certain point where I can just run and be in the outfield to go get some balls without hurting the team.
And to put the DL list in perspective, Major League roster for active players is 25 men. Braves have had 23 different players go to the disabled list this year. Five of those players 60-day DL stints: Venters, Martinez, Eric O'Flaherty, Ramiro Pena, and Tim Hudson.
I don't even listen to other teams when they start complaining about injuries to their team. That is what happens.
Andrew Brown hits it sharply to short. Nice pickup and throw by Janisch. I enjoy watching that guy play shortstop as much as anybody in the league.
Wow.
He's smooth.
He's had 3 tough plays today.
Yeah, that slide is a good move to stop your momentum and not have to do like a 360 pirouette. Get you to an abrupt stop where you can get back up and throw.
Kind of like a pop-up slide on the bases, stops you and allows you to get your feet going the right way.
I'm not sure if you mentioned Christian Martinez. I don't know if he's on the 60-day or not, but he was also a guy lost for the season early on. He had shoulder surgery.
That was done on July 9th. In a span of 5 days, the Braves had Johnny Venters and Eric O'Flaherty undergo Tommy John surgery May 16th and May 21st. Pena tore up his right shoulder. He had surgery in late June. And of course, Tim Hudson, days after his collision with Eric Young in New York, and his fractured ankle fixed. So 28 games Braves have had their envisioned starting 8 together this 2013 season. And a line drive by Lucas Duda, who is 3 for 3.
They'd like to see more of that out of him. That home run he hit his last time up, about halfway into the Braves bullpen. That was a long one too. 6'4", 255. Lucas Duda. No doubter.
Justin Turner has flied out, singled, and he scored. New York got 2 in the first. They got 3 in the third. A roller out of play foul by Turner.
Well, you talked earlier, Joe, about this, and Chip, you mentioned the last month here, how important it is for the Mets to get a good look at some of these younger players. I remember it was really critical for me to get a chance to get called up in 1976 and 1977 and played most of the games, as I remember, in those 2 September call-ups, and it's a big opportunity.
Line into right by Turner. Upton cuts it off. Duda around second. He'll make third without a throw, and the Mets have 10 hits in the game so far.
I mean, it's one thing to put up some numbers in the minor leagues, but to come up in September and face some big league guys really gave me a chance to kind of jumpstart things for me. It gave me a different evaluation for the club to see me against some big league pitching.
You guys, as young players, when you first came up, obviously relished that opportunity. But it's kind of a difficult situation for a team that's out of contention like the Mets, because the old adage in sports, especially this one, don't believe everything you see in March or September. So how do you balance the level of competition they're playing and the fact that they're just playing baseball as opposed to whether they'll be really good regular major league players?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just something else to add to the mix. You know, you get to see. Well, I remember one September, John. I think it depends maybe who you're facing and what kind. You know, they'll look at the pitcher you're facing. Is he a AAA guy, or is he established major league guy? And how's he pitching that night? John Montefusco pitched a no-hitter against us, and I'll never forget it. But I hit a line drive to second base for an out, and just that for my confidence. You know, I said, this guy threw a no-hitter against us tonight, but I hit a bullet. And, you know, it wasn't anything to write home about except that, you know, it was one of those things that I think the Braves took that into account. Guy threw a no-hitter. Murphy looked okay. Just something to add to the evaluation process.
Yeah, I think all those little high marks help make that evaluation come next year when they see how you handle yourself against a veteran pitcher.
And I would think going into spring training, you're at least to the coaching staff, assuming they're back, not an unknown commodity. There's some familiarity there, which I would think is a big help.
September call-ups, it's a big chance for guys.
Travis d'Arnaud, a 2-2 count, and he pokes one out to second, and that will retire the side. Evan Gattis will go to work for the Braves in the fourth inning. Atlanta has but one hit and trails 5-0. But they're out and forced to see Evan Gattis try to improve his ranks among rookie hitters in National League play. Evan's work is our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard.
You know, for a guy who's 17th in games played, I'd say he's doing pretty well for himself compared to the rest of the rookies. His home run last night, out of his 16, the 9th home run that he's hit that's either tied the game or given the Braves the lead.
Gattis takes a strike. Think back to spring training. Gattis was the talk of spring down in Orlando with the mammoth home runs, the hard hit balls, his work behind the plate. He was one of the last additions to the Braves 25-man roster and has emerged as a very important piece to Atlanta's postseason plans. We know he can pinch hit. He plays a serviceable left field. He can catch it and throw it very well. And with one swing, guys, he can turn the game around. A roller to the left side. And Gaddis is the first out of the inning.
Well, it'll be really interesting to watch, see how Freddie manages that postseason, gets Evan into the lineup, because he's a force to be reckoned with in there. He's dangerous, great pitch hitter, like you say, but I'd like to see him get 4 at bats. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets him in there.
Get to the World Series, pretty good DH.
Not a bad option.
That's right. Gerald Laird pops up the first pitch. This one toward Turner at third. He's really fighting the sun. But he makes the play. 2 out.
Time for Georgia Power Energy tip number 3. Dale Murphy, number 3. Stay comfortable this summer and save money with Georgia Power's energy efficiency programs. Learn more at georgiapower.com/save. And Dale, you got your wish this year. I mean, when Chipper his number was retired, they put him down there next to somebody else away from you, just like you'd hoped.
Well, that was a fun day with Chipper at the luncheon, Joe. You did a great job. Caught him a little off guard. We got to roast him a little bit. That was fun.
He was out here at the ballpark a couple of nights ago during the homestand.
Elliot Johnson pops one up toward first, and that's an easy play for the hitman Lucas Duda. He's 3 for 3 on the afternoon. All Mets in game 3 of the series. Number 5. Here's what's on deck for the Braves. We head to Philadelphia after an off day tomorrow. Rough year for the Fightin' Phils.
Yeah, it's rough times for them. Although when the Braves go to Philadelphia, they're going to get Cliff Lee on Friday. They're going to get Cole Hamels on Sunday. That's almost like a 1-2 punch for the postseason. Kyle Kendrick pitches Saturday. He's had a bit of a rough time, but you can see their pitching has been rough this year in comparison to what they thought they were going to have.
Juan Lagares pops up the first pitch in the top of the 5th inning and is retired. 1 man down. It'll certainly be different to see Ryan Sandberg. He's now the manager of the Phillies after Charlie Manuel was let go.
Yeah, I read something somewhere too that I don't want to imply that there might have been a rift between he and Jimmy Rollins, but he's trying to get Rollins to kind of change his approach at the plate a little bit. And in Ryan's view, I'm sure something for the better. And I don't know how well received it's been.
Quintanilla bats. I think a lot of us who know Charlie Manuel professionally and know him personally felt real bad that he wasn't able to finish out this season for the Phillies. Their yearly finish has decreased by one level in the playoffs after they won the World Series year after year after year. And to Joe's point, the pitching really has let him down. Roy Halladay got hurt. The bullpen has been a mess. But this is an evaluative time, not just for the Phillies players, but for Ryne Sandberg too. The Phillies have to decide if the seemingly mild-mannered Ryne Sandberg is the right man to follow the ultimate players manager, Charlie Manuel, long-term as the Phillies manager.
Your dad always said something about Joe Torre and his time here, Chip, that is a little bit like what you're talking about with Charlie. I remember your dad always telling me that Joe Torre won his first year here. If he had, and then he went to second, then he went to third, and then he got fired. And if he had done it in reverse, he'd have probably been here forever if it had been a steady progression up.
But baseball, as we know, is a very cruel business. Just watching the press conference where Ruben Amaro announced Charlie Manuel's dismissal and how emotional he was leads me to believe that that was not an easy decision for Ruben Amaro to make, but one that he felt needed to be made for the Phillies to turn the page and move on from the winningest manager in the history of the Philadelphia franchise.
Wow. Tough decision. I think Joe, you mentioned, I think something that's really interesting, really telling actually about Ryne Sandberg. I had not heard that you mentioned he had talked to Jimmy Rollins about changing his approach. I was with Jimmy Rollins in the World Baseball Classic, and I would imagine that approach is quit looking for the long ball so much. That was my first observation as a 1-2 hitter, is that, you know, he has kind of a different approach. Takes a lot of big swings. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Might be.
But I think what's interesting to me is that Ryne Sandberg is confronting it head on with a main player. He wants him to change his game. I think that's pretty good. A good sign that, you know, Ryne isn't the most talkative guy, but he's going to address some issues that need to be addressed. And if there's one knock on Jimmy, that's what I've heard, is he's going for a long. It's a tough ballpark not to go for a long ball, but that's not his game. His game is getting on base. They're going to have plenty of power hitters in that lineup. So I think that's a good step for Ryne, for him to address that head on.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Tough to replace a guy like Charlie Manuel, who everybody loves.
Well, and you know, when we use the term mild-mannered, I guess there's a subtle connotation there that people are saying that Ryne Sandberg's soft. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think he's afraid to confront anything that he feels isn't being done right, whether it's in his locker room or in the game of baseball. If you want an insight into the mind of Ryne Sandberg and how he thinks the game ought to be played, Google Ryne Sandberg's Hall of Fame induction speech.
Yeah, right.
And read what Ryne Sandberg had to say about the state of the game. I forget how many years it was ago, 6-7 years ago, and where the game is now, and see if he strikes a chord with you.
I'm going to do that.
G was trying to give the Braves an out, and Cameron Lowe just walked him. 2 on, nobody out, and that's going to be the last pitch of the day thrown for Cameron Lowe. He threw 102 of them in 4 1/3 innings.
Freddie Garcia has been up.
So Lowe walks 3 men. He allows 5 runs. The men on base are his responsibility. In fairness to him, didn't get a lot of defensive support in today's ball game either. But it's Freddie Garcia to follow in a 5-0 Mets game in the 5th. 11 hits, 3 walks, no strikeouts, and 5 runs so far. As we mentioned, Freddie Garcia will answer the AT&T call to the bullpen, and he had an outstanding Braves debut the other day.
Yeah, long relief. Held the team at bay, even though the Braves were not able to catch up. 4 2/3 innings, a 3-hit shutout ball, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts.
Eric Young is the batter for New York. Eric is 0 for 3. This is his 4th at bat in the game's first 5 innings. That tells you all you need to know about how the day's gone for the Braves so far. I did Google Ryne Sandberg's Hall of Fame speech, and obviously I'm not going to read a whole lot of it, but I do want to read one thing that I think is a window into his soul. Ryne Sandberg said, and I quote, "A lot of people say this honor, meaning the Hall of Fame, validates my career, but I didn't work hard for validation." He said he didn't play the game right because he saw a reward at the end of the tunnel. I played it right because that's what you're supposed to do. Play it right and with respect. And remember, this is a man who played his career, most of his career, for the Cubs, and had a player who was at one point the face of the franchise who blew as many kisses to the camera as home runs he hit. That is the antithesis of Ryne Sandberg's personality. Be on time, play hard, play the game right. And Young is down on strikes. Good start for Garcia. Eric's 0 for 4 today. 2 are out.
First strikeout of the day.
Well, it's good stuff. I'm sure Ryne Sandberg will do well up there. I wish him well, except for obviously against his division opponents, Atlanta Braves. But I enjoyed being able to play against him. Always respected him, and what a player he was.
He's got Roy Halladay pitching for him tonight against the Nationals. Jordan Zimmerman goes for Washington. The Phillies aren't drawn real well right now. They drew their smallest crowd since 2008 last night. 28,000 fans at Citizens Bank Park. Oh, 1 to Murphy. And now an even count.
Well, one thing about it up there, you'll know really quickly where you stand with the fans.
Didn't take you long, did it? Huh?
No, I probably shared this story, but I struck out with the bases loaded there once. And
little tapper off the glove of Garcia. Tried to flip it to first and did, but it was late. Infield hit for Murphy.
Murphy's getting them all kinds of ways, isn't he?
Yes, he is. When you're hot, you're hot.
Yes.
I want to hear the story.
Well, I struck out with the bases loaded. And I'm out there in right field warming up, and there's some guy just wearing me out. And, you know, I don't like to look in the stands, but I just finally looked out there. And, you know, I looked at him and said, yeah, whatever. And then I did a double take, and he started walking, and I just happened to pick him up. We didn't have very many people there that night. And I noticed where he sat. He walked all the way back to his seat. He was sitting behind home plate. Between innings, he got up out of his seat, came all the way out to right field
to yell at
me, and then walked all the way back. I said, man alive, welcome to Philadelphia. They're going to let me know.
Andrew Brown now with the bases loaded for New York. He's already hit a homer tonight, or today I should say. And that one's skied foul.
Need to find that clock. Need to mount that 20-second clock here somewhere. Dice K was throwing in the bullpen a while ago, just getting his throwing in on the side, and as soon as he got up, started throwing, the game really slowed down. I don't know if you noticed or not.
That's a good point. One ball, one strike. And now 2-1 to Brown. After this game, the Mets will enjoy an off day in Cleveland. 3 with the Tribe Friday, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. Then they're home for 4 with Washington and 3 with the Marlins. The Mets could have a big impact on the National League race. They've got a 3-game series with the Reds on the road in the season's final week, before they wrap up with 4 at home against Milwaukee. Down the line, foul by Brown. We'll do it again. Shelby Miller and Bronson Arroyo later on tonight. The Cardinals and Reds. That'll be a featured matchup in the major leagues. And Brown went around and is struck out. Good work by Garcia. A couple of strikeouts to bail out Cameron Lowe and the Braves in the 5th. When we come back, Tom Hart will break down Craig Kimbrell's pace. He ranks with the greats among elite closers in Big League Baseball.
And if we do, we may be witnessing history. He's a focus of our SunTrust shining moment. He was at it again last night with a couple of strikeouts, blowing heat in the upper 90s. Guys, he has been unstoppable, as we all know, basically since he became the Braves closer. But the question is, how do his numbers rank in baseball history with 2 of the best closers ever? You might be surprised. Through 221 career games, he is better in saves, save percentage, ERA, WHIP, and K than both Trevor Hoffman and Mariano Rivera. And guys, he's not just a little bit better. He's better in all categories by plenty. Brian McCann has been raving about the job that Craig Kimbrell has done, and we hope he can keep that going. But I don't know if we appreciate it, seeing it every day, just how good he's been in that context.
It is awesome to look at those numbers, Tom, and see how drastic the difference is. The only qualification I'll place on that is that Craig served that brief apprentice, if you will, behind Billy Wagner for 1 year. That was not necessarily the case for Hoffman and Rivera. Rivera actually was a starter. So a lot of the early stages of their career, Hoffman and Rivera, were not spent as the closer. in their first 221 games.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Dan Uggla, who fouls 1 straight back. As the Braves continue this march toward the division championship and perhaps a march toward 100 wins this year, Kimbrel with 34 consecutive saves and 44 saves this year, and 1 run allowed in his last 44 innings. Is there a hint, any kind of movement at all, guys, from your perspective, to get him more involved in the Cy Young Award race in the National League?
Only by us.
No, I wouldn't see any reason why not. Man.
Uggla hammered that one into left field. Young retrieves it quickly, and the Braves have their 2nd hit of the game.
Joe, considering the mental demands of the position as a closer, couldn't it be considered more impressive that Kimbrel was able to take over after just 1 year as an apprentice under Billy Wagner, as opposed to having a couple of seasons, not only to get his feet wet in baseball, but to take over such a demanding role?
Oh, no question about it. At such a young age, to just step in and do that, Tom, has been phenomenal. The only thing that when you put those numbers side by side, I just think it's fair to both Hoffman and to Mariano Rivera to let people know that Craig Kimbrel became a closer much earlier in his 221 games than the other guys did. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm not really trying to just be all defensive for the other 2 guys either. Just numbers sometimes don't tell the whole story.
Oh, Janisch has another hit, and the Braves are going to have runners at 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Still a manageable game. It's 5-0. But Atlanta getting some work done now against Dylan G.
If you want to take it a step farther, you want to include Eric Gagne in his first 221 games. 149 saves and 155 opportunities. That's a 96.1% save percentage, and his WHIP and ERA better than everybody.
And a Cy Young Award.
Yes.
So Freddie Garcia will have a chance to, at the very least, advance Paul Janisch to 2nd base for the top of the order. And he gets down a beautiful bunt. Freddie's having himself a fine start to his Braves career, a sacrifice. And now the top of the order goes to work. Three-4 on the sacrifice.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Yes, Tom, it was fine. Great sacrifice. And now Upton is the hitter. He has walked, stolen a base, and struck out. BJ jumps on the first pitch. Lagares streaks back toward right center field, and Brown cuts him off and makes the grab. Tagging from 3rd and scoring will be Uggla. Janisch moves up 90 feet, and Upton drives home his 26th man with a sacrifice fly. The Braves are on the board.
More solid contact the other way.
Well, a long one here from Justin, and we got ourselves game. He has flied out to center twice. A squibber up the middle. Murphy backhand stab from the outfield grass makes a one-hop throw to first, and that will retire the side. The Braves are on the board. They score their first run in the 5th and are down 5-1 now.
Mets got on the board early. Hanging breaking ball. Andrew Brown launched one into the left field seats. His 6th homer of the year. 3rd inning, big Lucas Duda took one deep into the Braves bullpen. His 12th of the year. Our Home Depot tools from the dugout. Those were a couple of launch jobs and have kind of helped pace the Mets as they lead it 5-1 now.
Duda needs a triple for the cycle. Double came in the 1st inning. Joe showed you the homer in the 3rd. He singled last time up. Lucas has added 9 points to his batting average. He's up to 249.
They desperately need somebody with some pop in their lineup, and not just David Wright once they get him back, and not really somebody to hit 3rd, maybe even 4th. They need somebody like Duda to maybe next year be down somewhere in the 6th spot in the order. They can add another player or two that can protect David Wright.
The Mets payroll this year, according to USA Today, was around $73 million at the start of the season. 24, almost 25 million of that belongs to Johan Santana. Jason Bay's money is on their roster this year. I believe this is the last year of that contract, as Garcia takes one off the shins but gets Duda for the 1st out. They've traded away John Buck. I don't think they have to pay Frank Francisco past this year. He's on the books at $6.5 million. They have to decide whether to keep Ike Davis or non-tender him. He's making $3 million. And then you have some players like Marlon Byrd, who signed for very reasonable dollars, who've also been moved off the roster. So they're in New York. They have a huge TV contract. Yes, they have the Madoff liabilities that they're still contending with. But you would think the Mets would have a lot of money to go out in free agency if they wanted to spend it to add that bat and more to this ball club.
I don't know all the certainly not privy to all their financial issues over the long-term ramifications of the Madoff situation, but there really doesn't seem to be any excuse beyond that for this team not to have a big payroll in New York and have a contending ball club.
In 2009, their opening day payroll, according to Baseball America, was $149 million.
Is that right?
It was $93 million last year, $73 million this year, and they've lost about $1 million per year in attendance over that stretch. To 3rd, Ellie Johnson backhands and fires across in time to get Turner 2 out.
So that's not surprising. Payroll goes down.
Interest.
Quality of team goes down. Interest goes down.
Yet Terry Collins and the Mets have played shorthanded all year and have played very competitively, in large part in the 2nd half, because of what every team wants to have: good, young, inexpensive starting pitching. Losing Matt Harvey obviously was a big blow for them, and it's undetermined, I should say, to whether Harvey's going to have the Tommy John or try to let the partially torn ligament repair itself.
And I got to question the delay on that. Why would there be any delay to make a decision? I mean,
unless the decision's been made that he's not going to have the surgery and is going to come back in spring training next year.
Yeah, except that Matt Harvey, I mean, everybody knows what Matt Harvey had for lunch yesterday. You'd think we'd have heard. I haven't heard anything.
That's exactly right, Murph.
I mean, and that's okay, because I think the guy's phenomenal and he's in New York. You'd think, I don't know, I've just always felt that as soon as something happens to a player, you got to make a decision. I mean, as far as injuries are concerned. I see guys get hurt and they say, well, I'm going to have, surgery sometime in December. I'm like, no, you have it the day after the last game of the season, so you can be ready earlier. Don't wait. And I know there's some ramifications, but for Matt Harvey, to me, if I were the Mets, I'd like, let's make a decision right now. I don't know, they're probably really reluctant to cut on him, but it seems partially torn,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's the term that I think is hanging everybody up, but it's not a full tear.
So if it is possible for Harvey to not have the operation, then he could be ready to go early in the season for the Mets, and he pitches until he either injures the elbow again or it stays healthy and he gets through the whole season. That's the roll of the dice that I'm sure the Mets are contemplating as we contemplate the bottom of inning number 6. But it feels like they're still in this thing somehow against the Mets, as you see our Subway in-game box score.
I just keep thinking about that game that Dylan G pitched earlier this year where he was in such command and lost in the 9th. So stranger things have happened, and with the Braves having some talent, shall we say, on the bench available to them later in the ball game, we'll wait and see how it plays out.
74 pitches for Dylan G today, and he'll have to face his nemesis Freddie Freeman, Evan Gattis, and then Gerald Laird in the home 6th. Freddie jumps on the first pitch and drives this one to left center field. Lagares drifts back to the warning track and makes the play, looking right up into the sun. You guys miss those days?
Not an easy play here, but again, he's impressive defensively. It just takes a lot of concentration when you know it's in the sun. You're on the warning track. You can sense that wall's coming up on you. Nice play.
Really impressive.
And Gattis pops one back foul. And just above the radio booth.
Juan Lagares is one of those guys that he at least what we've seen so far, he plays such a good center field. If he hits 250, then that's a bonus. And he's hitting 270 coming into the game tonight, this afternoon.
We've seen him in limited action, Joe, and we've seen him play right field too. Do you, as a former outfielder, have a preference for where Lagares plays for the Mets?
He's my center fielder until Den Decker shows me something different.
Now the chance for Jim Powell and Don Sutton. Caught overhead. 0-2.
It's almost like Dylan G is going to see if he can handle the fastball one after the other. Struck him out on a breaking ball his first time up, and I think he grounded out on a breaking ball back in the fourth.
And got him with a breaking ball here in the sixth. 2 up, 2 down. 5-1 New York. Let's see if we can answer our AT&T U-verse trivia question correctly. If you forgot, the question is, over the last 30 seasons, what Mets pitcher has recorded the most wins against the Braves?
I know it's going to be somebody we kick ourselves over, but I'm going to say Frank Viola.
Well, I had Johan Santana or Leiter. I'm going to say Leiter.
It's a good call.
I'm going Dwight Good. Dr. K, let's see if we're right. I said him.
Yes, you did. Working the game today with Harry Cohen.
Ron Darling was the man who recorded the final out in the Rick Camp game.
And I said, yeah, that's right. And I said it would be after the division switch, was made, and it wasn't.
Wow. Ron Darling will never forgive us, but at least he made our air with 13 wins against the Braves. Shame on you, Ron. 5-1 is our score heading to the seventh. Bates and Coach Tommy Bowden every Thursday for in-depth coverage of the week's best matchups. You can catch the new college football show tomorrow at 7 on Fox Sports South. And we promise, with Dale Murphy in the booth, there'll be plenty of Utes coverage on this week's episode.
Good stuff.
Freddie Garcia doing his job, trying to keep the Mets right where they are.
It's been impressive.
Yeah, he has. How many appearances has he had?
This is the second one, and he's at 5 2/3, 6 1/3 innings of shutout ball. has recorded the only 3-up and 3-down inning of the day for Atlanta.
Mentioned Freddie's baseball pedigree a couple of nights ago. He was originally a Houston Astro. As Lagares drives one down the line foul and into the seats. But in 1998, Houston went for it in a big way. They traded John Halama, Carlos Guillen, and Freddie Garcia to the Seattle Mariners for Randy Johnson. The next year, Garcia debuted in the big leagues and pitched very well as a Mariner. Bouncing ball to short. Yanish loads up and gets Lagares.
I was just looking at Lagares' minor league numbers. His career batting average 280. No more than 7 home runs in any one season, but did steal 21 bases last year, which is his career high in the minor leagues. That was at AA Binghamton.
We've seen Matt Dendecker in this series, and the former Florida Gator is considered to be one of the best defensive outfielders in the Mets system, but he's a center fielder by trade. That might be why we're seeing Lagares play some right. Don't know if Dendecker will hit enough to play every day yet. Omar Quintanilla has singled, walked, and grounded out.
Well, Ben Decker with a nice play last night. Nice sliding catch to his left, playing center field. Well, they're going to get a chance to see how he swings the bat at this level.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Omar doesn't get cheated. The Q dog is up there hacking.
And he hacks towards second. The Q dog is out number 2. All year long, Braves baseball on Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Joe, Murph, Tom, and Chip with you from the TED. Mets enjoy a 5-1 lead, and Dylan G's the hitter.
Speaking of Ted, his 75th birthday coming up.
Really?
Yes. And last week when I was here, Nuxie and I got to tape a little special that they're doing for him. I believe it'll be on CNN. I'm not sure, around his birthday time. So that was a lot of fun to reminisce.
I hope it wasn't a surprise.
Oops. No, I'm sure it's not. I got an invitation to his birthday party, and when you get an invitation from Ted Turner, you know you got an invitation. It came in a box about the size of a bread box, a wooden box made especially for a snow globe of Ted. Is that what you call those things?
Uh-huh.
About twice as big as your typical snow globe with him. Looking like he's in Montana. You shake it up, snow, it's got a little thing you're invited to. I'm like, gee whiz. No, it's incredible.
That's an invitation.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Nothing doing for the Mets in the 7th. We invite you to stay tuned for the home half of the inning, down 5-1 to New York. hats on that screen today.
Yep, Duda and Brown with homers. Dylan G has been breezing really after he got a 2-run lead in the first, and Dan Ugla with a base hit and a run scored.
Murph, I know you're getting ready for Ted Turner's 75th birthday, and if you haven't picked out a gift, I've got a perfect suggestion for you. You can save big with the Padres in town. You can get Ted a couple of outfield tickets. They're $28 each, and you can give Ted a Braves Tervis tumbler too. You don't have to tell him you got the tickets when they were on sale on our Steal of the Week. Go to Braves.com/steal today.
Good idea. I think I'll do it.
So you had to tape something with, with Phil Niekro?
With Phil, it was a lot of fun. Just reminiscing about the early days. One of the things that came up a lot was the day Ted managed. And I actually was not here. I got called up. That was 77, I believe. Dave Bristol was managing, and Ted went to Dave and said, I want to see firsthand what's going on with this ball club, so I'm going to manage for the day, take the day off. And Nuxie was pitching that day, and he went up to Ted. I think it was in Pittsburgh. And Ted said, Nuxie said to Ted, where am I going to hit today? Where in the lineup can I hit? And Ted said, I just hit wherever you want to. Nuxie goes, really? I can hit fourth? And Ted said, yeah, it doesn't matter, does it, the way we're playing?
There was some truth to that, wasn't there?
And Phil told him, I don't think so, Ted. I don't think you better hit me fourth. Oh, funny days.
When I was a kid, I remember at the old ballpark as Elliott Johnson squibs one towards short. Quintanilla throws late to first. Infield hit. And there's a start in the 7th for the Braves. Elliott Johnson 1 for 3. They had a world famous ostrich race. Dad, Ernie, Pete, and I think Ted Turner were the contestants. They had racing silks for all 4 competitors.
There's a visual.
Let's just say it didn't matter what color Dad wore, you knew who he was.
There's a great picture of those guys. I think my favorite was of Ernie. He had kind of a funny look on his face with his silk hat turned sideways.
And it was absolute chaos. They had the little, I don't know what you call the carriages, but basically a bench seat and bicycle tires.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And they had the prongs of the cart in a harness that was pulled by the ostrich. And the only way you could make the ostrich turn was with a broom. And no, you didn't swat the ostrich with the broom. You had to hold the broom on the opposite side of his head from which way you wanted to turn. So if you wanted to turn left, you held the broom on the right side of the ostrich's head. Well,
I'm sure that worked real well. I think Pete was the one that told me that, and I may have this backwards, but you could get them going pretty easily. But you couldn't, nobody told him how to get them to stop.
They were... It was like a 20-car pileup in a NASCAR race. It was chaos.
Well, it wasn't a good commentary when that was more entertaining than the baseball we were playing.
Didn't Ted have a contest, too, where I can't remember the story. I wish Pete were here. He would remember. But where he pushed a ball up the line with his nose?
Yeah, with Nuxie, I wasn't here for that, but Nuxie talked about it. It was, you had to push the ball from home plate on the ground with your nose. Tug McGraw pushed it from home to third, and Ted pushed it from home to first on all fours. Ted's nose was a bloody mess afterwards.
Was it really?
Because he was trying so hard. I mean, it's just really, didn't want to lose at anything. Definitely didn't want to lose the old pushing the ball down the line contest.
Yeah, who needs the America's Cup? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Is the count. Johnson's running, and a bouncing ball foul off Uncle's bat.
Well, I got called up in '76, so we're struggling. And Ted had just bought the team, 75? I can't remember exactly, but we actually sat pre-game in the clubhouse, and Ted got out. Okay, this is the day and age we were playing a movie projector and put on a movie about him and his America's Cup successes. And
how was that received?
Well, it was odd. I mean, we're watching this, but his whole point was, I got his point is, and he was a winner, a competitor, and would not stand for losing, and that's what he wanted to get across to us was, look, I did this, you guys can do it here.
I was worried there for a second. Johnson once again, and a mile-high pop down the left field line. Young in fair ground makes the catch for out number one. I have this horrible vision of the scene from The Natural where Ted Turner's standing up there like the psychologist of the team. Losing is a disease. But it wasn't like that.
Well, no. I mean, it was, obviously. I was just a kid. I was like, okay, I don't know what the veterans were saying to themselves, but, Ted was influential, obviously. He was involved. He wanted to win. He couldn't stand losing. This organization wouldn't be where it is without him. I mean, this field is called Turner Field for a reason and honors him. And it was a little unconventional, but the point of it was, he wanted to win. That's all there was to it. I mean, and it was great. I have absolutely zero complaints for being able to play for Ted Turner. Some people say, well, he's like Steinbrenner and stuff. And, he treated guys with respect. And like say, he didn't quite know what he would say sometimes. One time I was in a really bad slump.
Giannis to center. Lagares is there, 2 out.
I was in a slump, and Ted comes into the locker room. You always knew when Ted was in the locker room. And he yelled across the locker room, Murph, don't worry about that slump you're in. You're saving me hundreds of thousands of dollars with our next negotiation. Well, wait a minute here. Don't worry about this slump I'm in because you're saving me money. But, I have great memories, very thankful for the chance to be able to play for Ted Turner.
Well, he was called Captain Outrageous in his younger days, but when you think about Ted Turner, really revolutionized the game as we enjoy it now. Sure. In this regard, right. The Superstation. It was a revolutionary concept at the time to put Braves baseball on a satellite so people around the country could watch baseball for free. Even if they weren't Braves fans, there was a game on every night. And
they became Braves fans.
Exactly right.
It's the foundation for Braves country today. It's everywhere. And the thought of putting a game on every day. We weren't playing that well, and the thought is, what's this going to do to the gate here? And we just found out, well, the better we played, the more we were on, the more people showed up.
But didn't you find too that when you had a young team, you'd see your fan base grow up with the young players?
It was a tremendous experience, and I've grown to appreciate it more and more as the years have gone on. And with your dad, with Skip and Pete and Ernie as the foundation there, people got to see a national broadcast all over the world, if you had a dish, but all over the country, but a hometown broadcast. As one of the challenges with people's Braves fans see a national broadcast, it's not their guys like you guys. But fans grew up with this, like Ernie's called me John Boy, and it was just a nice relationship between the announcers and the players and the fans, and got to see us every day, and it was fun to be a part of it. And then when we started playing better, it was a lot more fun. But Ted had a vision that this is going to be a good thing, and it was unconventional at the time. Sure worked out.
Joey Trudaslavich is the pinch hitter, and he takes a strike. More good work by Freddie Garcia. 2 1/3 innings of scoreless, 1-hit ball in relief of Cameron Lowe. pop shallow center. Murphy on a dead run to center, but Lagares has been everywhere in the pasture today. And Terdoslavich and the Braves are out of luck in the home 7. 5-1 is your score. New York has the big lead.
Like Cole Freescam. Freddie Freeman launched one in the first inning, and it wasn't a hit. It was charged in error, as it should have been, off the glove of Eric Young, who had a little trouble corralling it. He was looking up into the sun too, but missed it by that much. Off the glove, E7. Braves had runners at second and third, but couldn't get anybody in. They have gotten on the board. That was in the 5th. They trail 5-1. That was the freeze cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Yeah, another good job by Freddie Garcia. 2 2/3 innings, a 1-hit shutout ball, no walks, 2 strikeouts.
And he'll give way to Anthony Favaro. 53rd appearance for Anthony. It's been a milestone homestand for him. What day was it that he got his save? August 30th. First game of the Marlins series. He saved it for Julio Teheran, his first big league save. He went 2 innings to get it. And he's ahead of Eric Young to start inning number 8. A comebacker. Young is the first out.
Look at Eric hustle down the line. You know, you're talking about coming from a good family and learning how to play the game right from his dad, Dale.
Yep.
Come back to the mound. That's frustrating as a hitter. But look at him go.
My grandfather used to always say, they pay you to run hard 4 times a game. And Young did. Good for him. Daniel Murphy has a couple of hits. He's also scored a run. He'll have a 9-game hitting streak headed toward the weekend and Cleveland, where the Mets play next. And Murphy takes a strike.
Eric Young will forever be remembered as the guy who stepped on Tim Hudson and broke his ankle. He'll also be remembered as the guy that stood there next to Tim, tears rolling down his cheek, apologizing for it too, and very upset.
It was quite a scene
by how that happened.
Fly ball center. BJ will drift back a step or 2. And Murphy makes out number 2. Delta Airlines, a proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. We'll head on our Delta charter and head to Philadelphia next. 3 with Phillies, 4 with the Marlins.
You guys have a safe trip. I'll be on my Delta flight back to Salt Lake City.
First cabin.
check that out. Hope so.
It's a long flight.
I just hopefully I get on the right plane at the right time.
That'd be good.
No diesel in the engines.
Jet fuel.
There you go. Andrew Brown got his day off to a rip-roaring start, a 2-run homer. He's 0 for 3 since. Braves will have the top of their order in the 8th. Upton, and Freddie Freeman down 5-1. Might have seen the last of Dylan G in the game. With 7 innings of 4-hit 1-run ball. Good fastball. Brown missed it. Full count. Crowd today 22,946. Braves are over the 2.2 million mark in attendance. And Brown's board with a 2-out walk.
Fans catch the Braves in action as they take on the San Diego Padres in a 3-game set Friday, September 13th through the 15th. Check out the Georgia Lottery Friday night fireworks show and Kids Run the Bases Sunday. Visit braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000 today.
Yeah, the 13 of the next 16 games are on the road for Atlanta. The only interruption is a brief 3-game stand with the Padres, which you just mentioned.
This is Lucas Duda, still looking for the triple and the cycle. Anthony way ahead of him, 0-2. Way high, a ball and 2 strikes. Interesting note around the minor leagues. Much has been made of the disappointing season of the Houston Astros. They have 6 minor league teams in the playoffs this year.
Is that right? Congratulations to them. I saw where they also purchased Matt Pagnozzi from the Braves minor league system. Hopefully he'll get a chance to get to the big league club with them and do some catching.
Well, one of Joe Simpson's keys today was gee whiz, because the Braves had handed him 2 one-run losses. The gee whiz today is for Atlanta as Dylan G leaves the game, allowing 1 run over 7 innings. He's allowed 1 or less in his last 13 starts and has won 8 of those decisions and leads today by a 5-1 score. And here's a look at Vic Black. He's in his 6th game as a Met.
We've talked about him in this series. This is the 3rd time we've seen him, and the 3rd time the Mets have seen him, because he just was acquired from Pittsburgh, and he can bring it. Throws hard. He was right on the rail last night watching Craig Kimbrell.
96 and inside for B.J. Upton.
Thought that was a real interesting shot of him last night. Top step watching Craig Kimbrell.
Popped up. Duda in foul ground at first. And he's got it for the first out. Black does something interesting before he releases the baseball. He plays patty cake with the glove.
Yeah, you see it every once in a while. I can't come up with who else does it, but you'll see him here. He taps the glove with the ball. You don't see that all the time. Guys making contact again after they go into the windup, but it works for him. It's kind of like a quarterback. Sometimes you see him tapping the ball with their other hand prior to throwing. Kind of a timing thing, I guess, or just a rhythm thing. If it helps him throw 96 and above, do it.
Wonder if he'll end up being the Mets closer. Bobby Parnell's been hurting for New York. Matt Den Decker is in center. Lagares moves to right for New York. Justin Upton 0 for 3. The Mets made a couple of good plays defensively. Lagares got him in the 1st on a pop up to center. Murphy retired him in the 5th. And another pop. This one is short. And Quintanilla makes the one-handed grab. 2 out. After our game, we will have Braves Live for you. It's, as always, presented by AT&T. Too much Dylan G. And too much Mets offense in the first 3 innings in this one. New York sent 19 men to the plate in the first 3 innings. And 5 of them scored. New York with 12 hits. They've left 11 on base. Spot start for Cameron Lowe to give Julio Teheran a little rest. Everybody gets rest tomorrow. Then we're back at it Friday in Philly with Mike Minor and Cliff Lee. Swing and a drive, belted deep right by Freddie Freeman.
The Mets leave town without just a little parting shot, can he? Wow, that was a high riding fastball too. Man, was it loud.
How about the kids in right? Nobody scattered. I mean, they were going right after that long home run. And one of them came up with the baseball. Check this out. There was no get out of the way.
The swing by Freddie. Wow. Some gas that high out of the strike zone. Pretty impressive. Like you've been saying, Chip, though, this is a funny game with Dylan G cruising like he has been, but just got a feeling the Braves are not out of it, the way they can hit home runs and score runs in a hurry.
I can't wait to get back to New York for this reason only. I'll be very clear about that. Guarantee you that the leather-lunged faithful at Citi Field are going to start chanting Freddie like they used to do with Chipper Jones and Larry. 6 homers, 17 RBIs for Freeman this year alone against Mets pitching. And now Gaddis turns around a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and he has a 2-out double.
Boy, did he turn on that one. How quick that swing was. Pulling his hands in. That was a great shot of it right there. When we talk about having a guy having to pull his hands in to get inside the baseball and get the barrel there, he did it.
Really good shot there. That's something I think people need to understand. That is how do I say this? That's made as that decision is made as the ball is actually in the air. It's not something you say to yourself. You don't know where the ball is going to be thrown. So you're looking, and all of a sudden you got to make that last second adjustment. It's an incredible adjustment in a split second timing.
On that kind of fastball,
right.
It is amazing.
So this is an adjustment. Look at where his hands are. The ball, at the last second, he sees that ball's inside. So you bring your hands in to get the barrel of the bat on the ball instead of coming around it and pulling it foul, like we talked about Dan Uggla's doing a little bit too much. But you bring your hands in and get that barrel on the bat, keep it fair.
I want to show you something on that too, Dale. Watch the angle of his bat and how close it comes to his shoulder right here once he has to pull his hands in. Look at this. See right there? His bat was almost touching his shoulder. He pulled his hands so far in.
That's an interesting shot right there. Well, in golf they talk about lag. You got to don't get that club head out in front of your hands. You'll duck hook it or overcompensate and push it to the right. And that's the same thing you do there. You bring your hands in. You still got that bat back there. The bat's going to come through because of the torque. Just let it come through, but it won't come through without good positioning of the hands like that.
Gerald Laird pops up to first.
Speaking of lag, you got to see Chip. He can really lag.
I'm a lollygagger. Or a lollylagger, whichever way you want to call it. Freddie Freeman, a rip job. Big home run. It's 5-2 after 8.
Who's filling in for Andrelton Simmons. How about this play in the hole? Popped up. Got his man. Now to his left. Got up quickly. Got his man. A couple of good plays. for Paul Janisch in there at shortstop today. By the way, with McCann, Chris Johnson, Simmons, and Schaefer all getting the day off today. I mean, that's 2 days off because of the off day tomorrow. That's going to work out real well for them going into Philly. Those guys that needed a day off. Jordan's birthday is 27th today, and Andrelton's birthday also is 24th. Happy birthday to those gentlemen.
Happy birthday, guys. You know, looking at Paul Janisch make those plays, those are tough plays playing every day. But when you're not playing every day, they're just exceptional. You make them look that easy.
Five-2 in the ninth. And Turner with a 2-1 count.
Braves have had quite a few comeback victories, and you always think, well, that's because they come up with some big runs at the end of the game. Obviously it is, but it's also a credit to the bullpen keeping games close enough.
BJ in right center takes care of Murphy. Excuse me, takes care of Turner for the first out in the top of the ninth inning. Here's d'Arnaud. Well, we'll see what happens in the bottom of the ninth inning. As Joe mentioned, a lot of the Braves' regular players are available to hit in a pinch. It is just a 5-2 game. Braves have won 22 victories this year in their last at bat. See if Black continues on or if New York goes elsewhere to try to finish off the game. And Travis down a strike. It's 0-1. Murphy used to catch. What are your thoughts on the rookie backstop for the Mets from what you've seen in the series?
Well, so far so good. I think obviously with trading Buck, we're going to give him a shot, a really good look this September. I've always been kind of a John Buck fan. I've liked him. I like the way he plays. He got off to a great start, but with the things that have happened to this organization, had to move him on.
Off Farvaro's glove, and the ricochet out to second. d'Arnaud is retired. Score that one 1-4-3.
It was a good swing by d'Arnaud there. I think the other thought there, young catcher, young staff, you know, kind of grow them up together. Good idea.
His ETA may have been much earlier in the season, but an injury in the minor leagues cost him a couple of months. And now Lagares in the ninth inning with 2 outs, and skies it out of play foul. Lagares started the day in center. He'll finish the game in right field. One and two. And we'll do it again. Well, this is our final game of the year against the Mets. Will wish Terry Collins' club well the rest of the regular season and follow their happenings in the offseason as well. And we'll meet him again in February and March down in great state of Florida for spring training. The Mets train in Port St. Lucie. The Braves, of course, in Orlando, down by Walt Disney World.
Some talk about the Nationals moving in between the two.
Still trying to work out a deal with Kissimmee right across from the Astros spring training site. Nothing concluded there, nor has this game been concluded in Atlanta. Last chance for the Braves, down 3 runs. It's a 5-2 Mets lead. Power by Ram Trucks and by AT&T. Last call for the Braves. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Vic Black will not continue. He will give way to LaTroy Hawkins. Kids still here for weather day. They're hoping runs come raining down in the bottom of the 9th inning.
The ageless veteran LaTroy Hawkins, who still throws in the mid-90s. Has an excellent slider. Took over as the closer after Bobby Parnell went down with that injury, disc injury in his neck. He's got an interesting move at times, Dale. He'll work out of the stretch and come set even with no runners on base, but sometimes he'll start to come set and go right into a kick and throw, almost like the quick pitch, a guy who's not ready. I'm
really?
sure
Yeah.
We'll see it here, I'm sure.
Elliott Johnson gets things started for the Braves with a 1-for-3 day working.
So sometimes he'll come set, but won't come set. He'll just continue on.
He'll like his hands will start to come down, and he'll just keep going like a windup.
With so many guys doing leg kicks nowadays, it's a good idea to disrupt that timing.
That's a fair ball down the left field line. Somehow Johnson kept that ball fair. And an excellent start. Here come the Braves. Told you 22 last at bat wins. They're still very much alive, down 3 runs today.
Yep, here we go. Buckle up. Fastball just took it the other way. Turner playing in close, no chance.
Good flat swing by Elliott. No dip to that. Going to hit it on the ground somewhere with that speed. That's the kind of swing you want.
Dan Uggla has a hit and a run scored. He's also flied to left twice. And here's where the Braves bench could have a very big impact on this game. The bottom part of the lineup card. We've already seen Black. They've got their closer on the mound. You've got Andrelton Simmons in the on-deck circle with a lot of other Thunder available. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good eye, even count.
Need one more base runner. Bring the tying run to the plate.
Chris Johnson getting ready. He's on the top step. Popped up. Darno in foul ground. He'll give way to Turner, and there's the first out. Andrelton Simmons will hit for Giannis.
Andrelton had the big hit last night right after Gaddis had tied the game with a homer. And then a walk, a 2-run shot by Andrelton was the game winner.
He's had a real strong 2-week run for the Braves. He hits for Giannis, whose day ends with a 2-for-3 batting line.
First pinch hit appearance for him this year. Yeah, good day for Paul. Couple of hits, a couple of real good plays defensively.
Another pop-up. Quintanilla at short. This game sponsored by Pop-Tarts. It seems to be the only way the Braves can make an out.
Last 5 outs have all been pop-ups on the infield. 4 of them. 3 of them in foul territory.
So Chris Johnson, the final hope for Atlanta. He'll try to keep it alive for the top of the order. Chris at .331 for the year. 3 points ahead of Michael Kadire of Colorado. Strike one. 2 strikes now for Chris Johnson. Great race for the batting title in the National League. That's at the knees, a called 3rd strike. And LaTroy Hawkins saves the game for Dylan G. Big day for Lucas Duda at the plate for New York. 3 hits, including a long homer in the 3rd inning as the Mets avoid a sweep, and they beat the Braves 5-2.